So I'm going to be talking about a project which I'm part of the team who helped create it, called lakeFS. And I'm going to tell the story of how we integrated DuckDB, specifically DuckDB over WASM, into the lakeFS UI, which we've done pretty recently. So very, very quickly, I'm going to show what lakeFS is, explain it a little bit, talk about why we decided to embed DuckDB, and then a little bit about the process, the technical process of embedding something like that into our UI. So let's get started with what lakeFS is. So you can think of lakeFS as kind of, I'll put it in the best way that I've heard users say it, in that it's the bastard child of S3 and GitHub, in a way. So the idea is essentially to take something that, I know people here don't like the term lake house or data lake, whatever that means. I don't like it either, honestly. A nicer term would be kind of this huge shared folder which everyone sticks Parquet files on. In some cases that folder could get very big, like in petabytes, not for everyone, but for some users. And then it's really easy to kind of get lost in the process, right? We have everyone reading and writing. I won't show you like a picture of what my desktop looks like, but imagine scaling like that mess to a lot of different users. So the idea with lakeFS is to put that Git-like layer on top, where you can actually branch, you can do quality checks in isolation on the branch, and then merge back, and everything happens like on S3, right, on the object store. And so that's the concept of lakeFS. It's not a storage engine by itself, so it's a layer above like S3 or Google Cloud Storage or whatever object store you're using. And it exposes a set of APIs, some of them actually compatible with S3. So your Spark jobs can run on top, and like all the fancy new lakehouse architectures can run on top. But now also DuckDB can run on top, because we support the S3 protocol, so like server access was already possible, and apparently our users really loved it. So we thought to ourselves, okay, we have this really strong technology that actually runs on our user's laptop, right? And a lot of data science does happen locally, right? I want to explore the data, I want to experiment with it. But in reality, for most users, their lives kind of look like this. Who's familiar with this screen, looking at the UIDs? Okay, I feel for you. So this is not fun. It's not an easy way to explore data, right? I spent probably way too much time of my life looking at UIDs, don't forget. It's not great. So what we decided to bake into lakeFS is essentially DuckDB WASM, where if you have a Parquet or a CSV file or anything that's readable by DuckDB, you simply get DuckDB running within your web browser. And actually, the nice thing about DuckDB is, especially with Parquet, is that it's smart enough not to pull all the hundreds of megabytes to give you a sample. It will actually go fetch only the footer, and from that it will kind of understand what it needs to pull from the raw storage to just satisfy that small query. Right, so for data exploration, if you just want to get a feel of what the data looks like, you get to do it within your own browser if you already have lakeFS in place, without actually installing anything, without spinning up Spark, or using something terrible like S3 select. Forget I said that. So in the way that it's implemented, so HTTPFS is a thing. This is not my computer. I'm canceling. So we use HTTPFS behind the scenes. And the protocol for that is actually pretty simple. So lakeFS already had an API in place which lets you do GET request and get back the bytes of whatever Parquet file or CSV file you had. All we had to do is implement kind of the equivalent of a head object for that to be smart enough to pull like the footer and only like get some of the metadata. And on top of that, we built kind of a small macro, which initially we kind of hit a bug. And I think I was sitting next to the person who solved it pretty recently, Tanya, I think that's you. Where lambdas run which kind of gives the users a nice macro that they can use to kind of query the same data set across branches or across tags, which was really cool. So I'll put all the links afterwards, or come talk to me if you want to get more like the technical details of it. Yeah, I think that's it. So links, if you want to check out lakeFS, open source.